What if I told you there was a game where you could captain your own squad of beautiful Valkyries, engage in some of the slickest action combat in gaming with stunning anime visuals, and it was free? Well, my friends, you're in luck because today I'm going to tell you all about that very game, Honkai Impact 3rd. Now, full disclosure, this video is sponsored, but long before Hoyoverse approached me about this sponsorship, I was already playing the game daily. I love the game's slick action combat, its huge roster of cool characters, and seemingly endless amounts of content. In fact, I realized I never did a proper review of the game on the channel, so in this video, I'm going to be doing just that, along with telling you about all the cool updates coming in version 6.7. So what is Honkai Impact 3rd? How is the game structured? What do you do in it? What's the story? And why is Susanna best girl? Well, we'll get into all that right now. So to begin, it's a futuristic action RPG. You'll squad up with 3 characters to go into combat, battle waves of enemies, typically culminating in some kind of boss fight. Now to begin, it's mostly linear and stage-based, but once you understand the game, you level up enough, much more of the game opens up. For example, there's an open world mode where you can walk around, fight enemies, collect items, do side quests, and much more. It's a great way to get in-game rewards, and in fact, I got some of my favorite characters doing these activities. There's also 3-player co-op raids. You can go in, pick your favorite characters, and fight with other players around the world to take on big, cool bosses. There's also some really neat seasonal events that change pretty often, giving you even more variety. And that's what I like about the game. You pick how you want to enjoy it. Maybe you want to explore environments and go into the open world, you can do that. There's raids with other players, or you could just experience the story and knock out a few story missions quickly while you're on a break. There's just so much variety available to you. And because the combat is so good, it'll be hard to put the game down. And in my opinion, it has some of the best action combat in the industry, no joke. Everything from the animations to how it feels to play and the variety of characters. And that's something I want to stress. The variety of combat styles between all the different characters is so impressive. You have ranged characters that shoot projectiles, you have up-close fast attackers, or some that use music rhythm gameplay. It's pretty wild. There's so many unique styles, and to me, it's pretty incredible that the team at Hoyoverse has been able to build a roster this big with this much variety. Now, for you story lovers, let's touch on that. The basic setup is that you're the captain of a battle station and female soldiers called Valkyries are fending off enemies called Honkai. They threaten the Earth and it's your job to protect it. So if you enjoy good stories, there's a lot of it here presented in a variety of different ways, from, much more kind of like animatics to full-on high production value cutscenes. And to put this into context, there's 37 story chapters in the game right now, with chapter 38 dropping in update 6.7. So if you want to dive in with some story, there's plenty to get into here. And what I like is that it's a mix of lighthearted adventures with some more serious ones with top-notch voice talent in Japanese. There's also Chinese VO available if you prefer that. For me, I've really been enjoying Chapter 37, Salt, Snow, and Sand, as it features my favorite character, Susanna, and gives us time to spend with the upcoming Shigure Kira. Watching them interact is just so fun. Shigure is a little more straight-laced, while Susanna is a little more innocent and cute, so watching that dynamic play out across the chapter was a real treat. The chapter also features some really fantastic music, from something more laid-back to more high-energy battle themes. It's been one of the most fun chapters so far, and is setting up for some really cool plot developments in the upcoming Chapter 38. Now, before we talk about everything new coming to the game in version 6.7, I want to talk about my favorite aspect of Honkai Impact 3rd, and what I believe is its strongest quality, its characters. Between Honkai Impact 3rd and Hoyoverse's other releases, Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, I think it's clear that the company's character designers are in a league of their own. The rate at which they're able to release new and unique designs between their 3 flagship titles is pretty astonishing. Sometimes they even have characters that cross into multiple games, like Faishal, who's available here and in Genshin Impact. It's really cool that their worlds connect like this, and I'm curious to hear how you think they connect in that way. I'd love to hear in the comments. And overall, Honkai Impact 3rd might have some of my favorites between any of their games, in particular Susanna's Valkyrie Quicksand battlesuit. She takes on a more desert princess look with some really intricate details, super cool combat animations, and frankly, she's just adorable. She has a really cute voice that I love. Her combat style is really what grabbed me though. At a base level, she just has these really flowy, elegant attacks, almost like she's dancing as she's fighting. And in fact, her ultimate attack is sort of like a short segment in a rhythm game where you have to time button presses with beats to the music. It makes for a really fun, unique combat style unlike anyone else in the game. And rounding out my main party of 3 characters are Kiana's Hersher of the Void battlesuit and Durandal's Valkyrie Gloria battlesuit. Hersher of the Void just does so much damage. She's a ranged character and she shoots these missile-like projectiles and just blows up enemies. It's super cool. And she can also create these black hole-like explosions, and her ultimate attack is just absolutely devastating. When I'm at a tough boss and I really need to drop some of their HP, I just bust out her ultimate attack and it drains it real quick. I really like bringing her in to mix up combat, as she's one of my few ranged characters that I have, plus she's S rank, so she's one of the best in the game. Now Durandal, on the other hand, is much more of an in-your-face brawler. She wields a lance and she has this really cool attack where she'll just impale you with it and then slam an enemy into the ground. It's incredibly satisfying, to say the least, and whenever I come across a big enemy, it makes it even more fun. And what really puts the combat over the top, in my opinion, are these quick swap mechanics. Each character has these sort of unique triggers that every time you trigger it, their icon will flash, and then when you swap them in, they'll do a big devastating attack. It gives combat a really fun kinetic flow, and once you get into a good rhythm, you're constantly swapping characters in and out, doing devastating damage. It's certainly one of the bigger highlights in the combat system. Now you might look at the roster and go, wow, there are so many to choose from. How do I decide which ones to go after? You do get quite a few naturally just through progressing through the main story and some seasonal events, or you can get them through supply crate drops. Now the game is pretty generous with this system in my opinion. I have 12 characters on my roster right now, including 2 S-rank characters, without spending a dime. So if you're worried about that, you can enjoy the game without spending any money. But back to the characters, you can actually test out each character before you go after them. In fact, there were some I thought looked really cool, but then I played them and they weren't really my style. But then I tested out Susanna's Valkyrie Quicksand battlesuit, and oh man, I knew I had to have her on my team. Now you can play Honkai Impact 3rd in a variety of ways, from mobile to PC, which is crossplay by the way, but the perfect way I found to play it is with the Backbone controller on my phone. The touch controls work well on their own, but this thing is a total game changer. It gives the game a more impactful, kinetic feel with physical buttons. I kind of have smaller hands, so this turns my phone into the perfect handheld device to play this game. Lately, I've loved sitting on my porch, enjoying a cold drink, and playing some Honkai Impact 3rd. It's honestly been my favorite thing to do after work every day, and using the Backbone controller makes it that much better. Now, this video isn't sponsored by Backbone, but I just wanted to mention it because I feel like you guys would enjoy it. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. As for what's new and Update 6.7, oh man, hang on because it's loaded. We've got the new story chapter 38 delving into the Sea of Quanta, 2 new events, Perfect Performance and Salt Snow Tower, where you can earn all kinds of cool rewards, new outfits for the Hershers of Origin, Finality, and Truth just in time for summer, and a new character, Shigure Kira. Her Shigure Starburst battlesuit is an ice mech type, and man, she looks so fun to play. She has lots of quick acrobatic attacks with her guns, and then she busts out a long-range sniper rifle. I don't know about you, but I'm getting her as soon as possible. Also, if you're attending Anime Expo, Japan Expo, or Gamescom on either of these dates, be sure to stop by the Hoyoverse booth for all kinds of cool events, rewards, merch, performances, and much more. And if you haven't already, be sure to download Honkai Impact 3rd today and use the code KIRA now for all kinds of free rewards. Now, if you want to hear about another one of their games, make sure you check out this video right here. And special thanks to Reset Switch, Tyler Kuzawa, and the Miyazaki Man for supporting me over on Patreon. To get exclusive videos and other cool perks, consider supporting me over on patreon.com/thegaming shelf. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.